Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 12th running of the Japanese Grand Prix in ALR, round two of the championship. Very odd, isn't it, to have the Japanese Grand Prix so early on in the season? It's usually been a crescendo of the Formula One World Championship, but these days it is just the early stage of the season, and today it is round two. Of course, no Chinese Grand Prix. That has of course been scraped off the calendar. Of course, so looking forward to this one. Then the only figure of eight Grand Prix circuit on the calendar, only one of three circuits, I believe, with only one DRS zone as well. So overtaking is going to be a lot more difficult than it was last weekend in the Australian Grand Prix. So we have moved slightly up north, and from where he was in Australia to, of course, the land of the rising sun, which is fantastic indeed, isn't it? Let's go through the drivers and the constructors, shall we? Basically, they're exactly the same as what they were was the Australian Grand Prix. But anyway, let's go for it nonetheless. So with Ninja then, of course, took his 25th quarter of a century Grand Prix win last time out in Australia. With Menace taking second position, and I think that was his 10th podium of his career. Percy finished third, but Percy is a reserve driver at the moment, which means that he is not on the championship standings at the moment, but he does get those 12 points. A Moto in fourth position, basically, is as you were from last season, really, isn't it? Not much has changed. The more things change, the more they stay the same. MHD then in fourth position with Kaz in fifth. Sixth is Brabbit. Happy 50th, by the way, to Brabbit. Seventh is Boxtown with 2 points for Troy and 1 point for Morrison. Of course, Cam F1 has also got a fastest lap point as well, of course, which is still part of the ALR championship, even though if F1 dropped it in real life for some unknown reason. But there you go. Constructors Championship. This might be a bit more interesting because this is a bit slightly different. Only one team failed to score in Australia. It's incredible, isn't it? But Kick Sauber do lead the way. Of course, able to become two-time Constructors Champions. And of course, they do have the Triple World Champion at the helm as well, which doesn't hurt your chances at all. Ferrari then are next set with, oh dear, my formula doesn't work. And then we got Racing Bulls in third position, 12 points, 10 points for Alpine. Red Bull, goodness me, 8. 7 for Haas, 4 for Mercedes, 2 for Williams, 1 for Aston Martin. Oh, that was difficult, wasn't it? And then the constructors, then the joint constructors as well. Now, the joint constructors, very impressive stuff indeed. Then Williams have got an early advantage then of 11 points then in front of Kick Sauber. So 72 points for Williams, 71 points for the Kick Sauber. Alpine, 20 points away from the Williams team, only 9 points away from the Kick Sauber. McLaren Mercedes on 37 points. 3 points away is the Ferrari team in fifth position. Red Bull, just in front of their sister team, well, actually joined on the same points as their sister team of Racing Bulls, 22, 17 for Haas, and Mercedes on 14, 13 for Aston Martin. Oh, fantastic stuff indeed then. And that is the constructors and all that jazz then, which is fantastic indeed. And how do I get rid of all of this? Goodness me. Oh, I'm fantastic. Great stuff indeed. Just seeing that Lights wants to see a bit of rain showers today, doesn't he? Interesting stuff indeed. Anyway, let's get to the comments, shall we, before I start to break anything else on this contraption. Let go. Good luck, Gold and me. Laugh out loud, says Alexander. The Duke. Who, my goodness me, I'm looking forward to Silver because I thought that Duke did get a podium last time out in Australia, but my goodness me, Marky got his first ever Grand Prix win in Silver last week in Australia. Looking forward to see what happens tomorrow night, but that is tomorrow. Tonight is gold. Don't learn from me, Duke. Then good luck, fella. Says Coop. Great stuff indeed. There, of course. Coop and Percy will be running their first. Well, I'm not sure if it's their first ever time running a league event, but it certainly is the first ever time of doing it in ALR with 100% on Wednesday. Of course, keep your eyes peeled because that's going to be fantastic. Evening Strawberry Blonde Nut says, Serious Mushroom, how dare you? I have shaven today. Well, last night, but yesterday actually. Evening, everyone. Good luck all that. Please let it rain, as Lights says, and then I've got Pitbull stuck in my head now as well. We've also got, when do I hit 300 races, Gin, so I can leave? Hang on. I don't think I got my total stats book up, have I? I don't think. To be honest, actually, Mushroom, I'm sure you're only a couple of races away. Actually, I would bring it up, Mushroom, but I'm going to be honest, I can't be bothered. Goodness me. Of course, 18 turns around this Suzuka circuit. However, what I wanted to talk about was the CEO of Renault Sport has resigned, doesn't he? Of course, I can't remember. What's his name? Does anyone remember his name? Or am I going to have to Google it a bit quick? I might Google it a bit quick, actually. But, of course, the man who was very interested in keeping, well, in the Alpine team and, of course, being a part of the Formula One fraternity. But Alpine CEO resigned. Hang on. Luca De Meo announced a short departure from Alpine, which is which does leave in doubt the Alpine team anyway, doesn't it? Really, because a lot of stuff has been going on with Alpine, and not to mention that they are actually last in the constructors' championship as well, which is not ideal, is it? To say the least, as we get going in for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. Then, of course, this is probably one of the most toughest circuits on the Formula One calendar. Of course, as I said, the only figure of eight circuit on the Formula One calendar, as well as we look at the beautiful Suzuka International Racing Circuit. I think that's the official title. Of course, as I said, the only figure of eight circuit on the Formula One calendar as well, which is fantastic, isn't it? Maybe we need more figure of eight circuits as well. That record is actually set in by Vestiaire back in season 10 of a 1:28.105. 1:05 then. So that's impressive stuff indeed there for Vestiaire. He was only a reserve driver. I say only, that's harsh, isn't it? Only a reserve driver then for Vestiaire, but fantastic, isn't it? So Vestiaire got a lap record in ALR Gold. Fantastic stuff indeed. Right, as we got in it. Well, of course, those lovely images of the Suzuka International Racing Course was taken on the Thursday, and now it's a Sunday. And look at that, it's miserable stuff indeed. Flavio resigned. Says Young Light said, I am a few away, says Sirius Mushroom. No, not Flavio Briatore, it's Luca De Meo this resigned then. Of course, Flavio is the standing team principal, isn't he? As they're still trying to find a team principal for Ollie Oaks then, isn't he? No, he's not. He's allowed TP admitted he still runs it. Get in, says Young Lights as well, as in regards to a bit of rainfall as well. Two drivers. Oh, that's an unsafe release there from the Mercedes team. Oh dear, they're going to be slapped for surely a penalty there, isn't it? Goodness me. So already these stewards have already got a bit of work to do, haven't they? As we got Troy, I think so it was Boxtel that it was causing all kinds of issues out there, which is not ideal, is it, for Boxtel? I've just broke YouTube. Fantastic, by the way. Like this stream then, because it helps the algorithm and all that stuff. Look how dry it is, actually. I reckon we're going to be on slick tires in the not too distant future, you know, because a very light rain out there, and a couple of drivers was thinking about going on to the slick tires. I think that was Knowles who was one of them, but now he's gone back into the intermediate tire. Look at this. I must admit, this is the first time I've seen rain on this race, I believe, on this game now. Wet Japan is a good Japan, says Serious Mushroom. Don't you like this circuit, Mushroom? I must admit, of course, we've had a lot of wet races in Japan in the history as well. Sadly, the 2014 race will always be ingrained into our memories when we lost Jules Bianchi, didn't we, unfortunately, after he hit a tractor. Horrific stuff indeed. Of course, actually, 2 decades before that, in 1994 of Japan, Martin Brundle struck a Marshall, didn't he, in that horrific wet race as well in '94. Of course, they've seen potentially Damon Hill's most impressive Grand Prix win, I think it is, as Troy has got some kind of issues there in the Williams. Only 2 points scored for the former champion there. Is goodness me, that was a bit of dangerous weaving there for Troy. What's going on for the former champion there? Not ideal. There's a bit of drama going on there, but I'm gonna whilst Troy decides has troubles trying to figure out which way his steering wheel goes, let's ride with the Alpine driver, of course, reserve driver in Young Lights there, flicking it into turn one. Turn one's more of a entry point into turn two. There's already a bit of sliding there as well, but unlike Jack Doohan, who was racing this Alpine in Suzuka a few months ago, Lights has got through, and of course, so it was even bone dry as well. So Lights has done much better than Jack Doohan, albeit I feel that Jack Doohan was harshly treated them, but I think that seems to be the standard way of treating drivers at the moment. And of course, with Liam Lawson also getting removed from the Red Bull only after 2 races as well, and it just shows it's not the drivers. It's just, to be honest, it's been quite painfully evident it's not been the drivers. Looking at the likes of Alex Albon, for example, who's gone on to great things there, albeit didn't do too well in Austria today, unfortunately, but that was more of a Williams car issue rather than an Albon issue. And here comes Lighton. Excuse me a minute. And a bit of a tickle. Yes, I won here in the wet, says Serious Mushroom. That you did. Of course, Serious Mushroom did. Basically stopped the Haas's winning record then, which was German and Liam Yeh. I think they had 7 wins up to that point, and Liam Yeh did finish second, just under a second away from Serious Mushroom. Of course, Serious Mushroom, one of 2 Grand Prix wins in Formula 1, and I think, of course, he had a couple of wins in Formula 2 as well. Here's Lights. Taking the very tricky triangle chicane then out to the final turn, turn 18. Even though it's a flat out turn then, turn 18 is there, it does seem to catch a lot of drivers up. Montoya crashed there in 2005. I think he had a helping hand from Jacques Villeneuve, didn't he? Kaz Van Von has gone faster by almost, well, that's by 0.6 of a second. Look how dry that track is then. I feel that the more cars that come out here, the quicker we're going to be on slick tyres. I bet my bottom dollar. Cam, who is changed his name then, so it's now Cam F1 SV5. I'm wondering if that is a Sebastian Vettel reference there. Rumours about Sebastian Vettel taking over from not Dietrich Mateschitz. Taking over from Helmut Marko as Mumford goes 4 faster and Knowlesy in 5th, as the times are coming through thick and fast, and Nameless in 6th position for in the championship last season in silver, of course. Yes, Sebastian Vettel could be taking over as a driver advisor from Helmut Marko, which would be fantastic to see. Of course, we all love Sebastian Vettel, albeit I don't think we all loved him quite as much when he was in the dominating period of his Red Bull career, but nonetheless, fantastic stuff indeed as we go into turn 1 and 2. Thank you very much, Camera Racer. Donated €10 and through the super chat. Lovely stuff indeed there. Fantastic. I appreciate that, Camera. We've got 3 in F1. Jenna can get oh goodness me. Oh yes. Serious Russian still feels a bit aggrieved about the win that was taken away from him, which I'm sure was taken away by him by a certain Farf, wasn't it? There, I do like to throw Farf in the thick of it. Camera Racer then. Hello Racers, good luck all. Thank you very much for that donation, Camera Racer. Absolutely appreciate that. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And also Jenna, me, laugh out loud. I think that Jenna did get the win after the win was taken away. I think that Jenna got a 3-second penalty removed, didn't he? By the way, happy 50th to Brabant then, of course. So good stuff indeed there for Brabant on his 50th Grand Prix start there. Is just getting better and better, isn't he? In gold, then of course a silver season 7 champion there a few seasons ago there. But ever since then, Brabant has been very much keeping it in the thick of it since coming into gold. The Nameless has gone second fastest there. There's still a big old gap though between Van Von and Nameless, who gets an opposite lock there on the Aston Martin. Has taken a bit too much greed there into this second part of the second corner. Yes, here comes Chaza, which has got a one of 2 pole positions, and I think he got one here, didn't he, in season 5, if I'm not very much mistaken, which I probably am. And also, I had a barbecue last night as well. My stomach is very much whooshing from side to side, which isn't a pretty picture or a pretty sight either. World champion Sam Swift Ninja, a 38.8 there. Percy, who's a reserve in tonight there, is just at a 39.001. Of course, Percy said he enjoyed the race last week there. Chaza is 3 seconds off the pace for Chaza, but he didn't use much deployment. Here comes Menace in the Ferrari as well. If we got debutant tonight, I think we are. As Young Lights has gone fastest on a 38.4. To me, to you. To me, well, the rain isn't getting heavier now because it looks very heavy at the opposite side of the circuit into Spoon Curve. Kaz Van Von, say that, Kaz Van Von's down to a 37.9 there. And welcome, Sweet Crown. I love that name as well. Fantastic. As Van Von there is off the circuit. Remember, this qualified session very much is about just one session. There is no, this is to set the whole grid. The Mumford's gone third fastest. Sam Swift Ninja's dropped out of fourth now with Percy fifth. Flippy is in sixth position there. Flippy had a difficult start in Australia, didn't he? Here's Menace back on board the Scuderia Ferrari. Morris has got to put himself up into third then in the Haas car. Morris could potentially got a bit better than last week, but of course it was very difficult to determine what tyres to run. Menace is backed out of that, so let's go on board with the Daytona. On board now is Sweet Crown 19, as Braviton is got up into second fastest now as well. Fantastic 17 then, as flicking it through the S then. I think it's so difficult the S's are now, but look at how dry it is out there. There's not much spray out there at all as we're just watching Crown going through, as Sam Swift Ninja has lowered the bar again. If it's a game of limbo, I would already be out because I'm not that flexible, but it's how low can you go? We're in the 37.8 at the moment. It's very damp offline then into the first deck now for Crown, into the second deck now, a lot slower than the first. Under the crossover there, of course, it's going to be a little slicker under the crossover. Before, well, probably knows the drivers are going to be just dragging the water in under the bridge there. Of course, out of the Kobayashi hairpin then, and now as we have the run up into Spoon Corner then. I remember my first memory into Spoon was probably when I was getting fed as a baby. But however, the other memory I have of Spoon Corner is unfortunately where the Williams Constructors Challenge of 1995 sadly dissipated. There is both Coulthard and Damon Hill went into that gravel trap there. Coulthard then spun at the 130R corner here when gravel came out of the side pods and he spun off and into retirement, and then Damon Hill I think also retired as well. Not so many issues there for Sweet Crown then, as Menace's teammates on a 54.9 there, so Menace needs to have another bite of cherry across the line then, and Sweet Crown right into the 38 Fords and onto the third row of the grid. Fantastic for the debutant, love it. Great stuff. Bravo out there now. Of course, we've got a lot of action in this qualifying session. Sam Swift Ninja, who, as of course, I feel he's up to his game when it comes to qualifying, doing very impressive stuff. I think he got pole position in Australia, didn't he, if I'm not very much mistaken. Morris there is now into sixth position there. A lot of drivers then have got to fill up the cars. Here's Mumford into a very fine seventh position there. Percy is purple in the second sector. Almost a second up there as I've just clicked my finger in excitement. Menace is back up into ninth position now. Slowing the car down into the triangle chicane, which I don't think is called that anymore, but I still live in the 90s. Out of the triangle chicane, out of turn 18, across the line. Percy's back up in a third position, but still a whisker behind his teammate that he's filling in for tonight. Young Lights is back out on circuit as well. He had his wishes come true for a wet set at there. Morris there taking 2 speed in the second Degner then. Equals is in 10th position there. Someone has just flicked his way, but pole position for the Aston Martin. Cam was on pole position, I think, in the Brazilian Grand Prix a few seasons ago. 37.8 then for Cam. And just 4,000 a second in front of his former teammate, Sam Swift Ninja, who's having a harvesting lap out there as well. Troy in the Williams is now in 5th position. Calm down, Sean. I've hurt myself. Sweet Crown is quite fast. You're telling me, Duke. An incredible performance there so far then. Anthony Knowlesy told me P1 is a possibility. Anthony is saying then as a nice win, Sam Swift Ninja off to gold with him then. And oh, he's already here. I think he needs a platinum. Oh, what's happened? I've just looked down it up then. There's a Mortal up in 6th position there, but a Mortal is usually the king of qualifying. However, down in 6th position at the moment for Mortal. Sweet Crown is certainly quick, isn't he? Fantastic stuff. Menace is only 13th at the moment, but he's found 9/10 of a second in the second intermediate split time across the line. That's pole position now. 3/10 of a second improvement for the Ferrari. Lovely. Here comes Keza. Alpha back from his race ban, the naughty little boy. Now he is in. Oh, we got some flags in front of us. Fantastic. As much as we do like the light panels and stuff, we do love a good old flag, don't we? Flag, I said. On board with Keza. So returning this his first race there of the season. Of course, I do remember that he's got yellow flags out there. I just heard him in the didn't hear him, of course, unless he was leaving voice messages, but I see in the Discord that difficult to practice these days for Keza with looking after his 2 children there. Goodness me, but to be honest, then as Troy comes across the line, I thought that this was Knowlesy. I was going to say that Knowlesy probably ain't going to feel too much sympathy because, of course, Knowlesy has to look after the 4 admin children now of Farf, Percy, Coop, myself, and Smithy, actually, so that's 5. Technically it's 6 because I've got a wide waistline. Flippy has found half a second in the second time, then coming up to the 130R now. Go on, Keza, then. Not Paul yet, short and chill. Sweet crowd, sweet Green, and is now on pole position. Green, what? Sweet Crown is on pole position in his debut, and it's a Ferrari one too. As Menace has now finished second position as well. Cam is doing superb, but he's hacks all the way, and he's like a lumberjack into the Kobayashi hairpin. A yellow flag, sector 1 and 2. Here's the world champion there, accelerating out in the kick Sauber across the line. He's a lot of deployment there. Flippy's up in the 5th position. I think I said that. Sanford is back on pole position. It's now a 36.7. What an incredible qualifying. 4 minutes to go. That McLaren in the background, I don't know who it is. What about that Red Bull? Also starting us up as well. Knowles across the line goes in advance 2 seconds there, but still slowest to the time runner so far. Nameless is half a second up in the first sector. Boxtel's half a second up in the second sector on the previous best. 14 fastest for Boxtel. Mumford's tumbled down the order. Last time we said Mumford, he was up in his 7th position. Brabbit then has just got past his teammate. Keza has found a 2.5 in the first sector. Incredible. Here comes the former champion, Troy, the super sweet, tackling the triangle chicane, out of the triangle chicane as well. And look how dry it is there. Goodness gracious me. Hugging the inside there. Troy is on the second row of the grid alongside the incredible debutante of Sweet Crown. My goodness me. Flippy up into Spoon corner. We haven't seen a second sector time, unfortunately. Lights has also come up to Spoon as well. Kez is on the run up to Spoon. Goodness me. They're all around Spoon, aren't they? Here comes Brabbit and over the brow of the hill then. And he's found 8/10 for a second at Brabbit. That's incredible stuff indeed. That last over the line for pole position there. This reminds me of my favourite ever qualifying session in the European Grand Prix. Someone just jumped up the order there. I didn't see who it was. I think it was Nameless in the Aston Martin. Brabbit then is sweating profusely here. But Brabbit, 4th fastest there for Brabbit. Where is he? There he is. And what about his teammate? He's started a lap now. Brabbit went fastest in that final sector. That is a very interesting development. Lights has had a problem in the second sector. He's lost a lot of time there. Nameless is back into the top 10. Percy's on an outlap. I wonder if Percy got a new set of intermediate tyres on that. Is that going to be crucial? Boxstar is down in 15th. Mumford, where is Mumford then? He is deploying his overtake. Excuse me there. They're all spooning. Goodness gracious me. As now into the triangle chicane as well. Mumford, who was in 7th position about 2 minutes ago, taking the triangle chicane. And the car is trying to step out. It's trying to not be compliant. But Mumford is going full steam and into 10th position. Fantastic for Mumford in the race. And Knowles, he's in peril. He's out of qualifying. Mumford in 10th position. Yellow flag, and I don't know if Knowles he's crashed or if he's got an issue in the pit lane, but he's out of qualifying, unfortunately. We got pit stoppers there. We got drivers in the pits there. When Troy, that's both Williamsons then out of qualifying. Interesting. Here's Nameless, and he's in 12th position on the 710's down there for Nameless, so I think he's going to go for one more run, one more shot then. Here comes Morris, and flying past me now up the, running up the hill now over 190 miles an hour into the 130R. Used to be beastie in the absolutely beastie back in the day. Then it's a bit more of just a flat out corner now. It's more struggling to slow that pass car down then out of the triangle chicane then coming up to the line. It's, well, my goodness me, and I thought he was going to swap ends. No, he's in 7th position now, and What a final sector there from. I love that. What a final sector that was. And of course, I wonder if he lost a bit of time there. Who is that? This has got to be the third position there. I think that was his second for Lights. Then Lights has had a Grand Prix win many moons ago in the Zandvoort Grand Prix back in season 5 potentially. Van Vont there is really at the edge of the limits of this Red Bull. Can he get anything else out of this for Van Vont? Then Brabant is on one more time run. Has Morris got anything left in the tank as well? Equals hasn't. He's called it a day. Mumford into the triangle chicane in 37 seconds to go. Chazza, one more run as well. Nameless and back end trying to step out. Percy down in 16th position. Immortal down in 17th position, but he's purple in sector 1. Boxtown is 18th. Pease is out on circuit then. Across the line for Boxtown. And Boxtown improves by 2 tenths per second, but it is still the 18th slowest time so far. Immortal then out of the Kobayashi hairpin. Oh gosh. Oh my word. Oh, I've lost my slippers. Here comes the Immortal now then, and it comes up to Spoon Curve. But I know the checkered flag is about to flutter in the beautiful breeze here with the cherry blossoms. Then Sam Swift Ninja is on pole position, and it's going to be second of his season. Then Flippy is down in 12th position, and Equals has finished. Troy has finished as well. Knowlesy has finished. And both Williams is retired. Very close together. Is there an issue for the Williams like it was in Austria earlier on today? That Nameless is now into 11th position. There. Good time there for Nameless. Cam, I feel, has got more in the piggy bank. Into Immortal, then into the triangle chicane, and accelerates away for Immortal. Got the 22 pole positions of his career in ALR Gold. Then across the line, this is going pole position. It's only fourth there. I say only fourth, and I'd love to be fourth. Lights comes across the line, stays third at the end, but that is your road 2 if no one goes any quicker. What about the Haas? It's Brabant who's now gate crashed that road 2. He is in fourth position. Brabant is there. My goodness me, when that man's on, he is on, isn't he? Chazza has had issues there in the second sector, and is going to be 16th on the grid there for Chazza. Also in the pits is the Mercedes. Percy's got 3 tenths of second improvement here, as there's a lot of cars that are calling it a day. Then looking to see Pease is up into 8th position. Cam is up into 2nd position. Wow, what a pole, what a performance for Samson Ninja. What a performance for Mumford, up into 7th as well in the Racing Bull. Fantastic. Ferrari of Menace has made his way up into 3rd position there. We have got Sweet Crown about to finish us up, but here's Percy first on board the former world champion, goes 5th fastest. What about Sweet Crown coming across the line? Sweet Crown goes into the top 10 on this debut. Fantastic stuff indeed. And then Boxtown, who is just coming around now, but it's Sam Swift Ninja, pole position there, number 10 of his career, and I think it's number 2 of the season, if I'm not very much mistaken. What a start to the season it's been there for Sam Swift Ninja. His 2nd pole position of the season, and my goodness gracious me, is this a sign of things to come potentially for the Kick Sauber and for Sam Swift Ninja then? Of course, one of his Achilles heel has been his qualifying pace. Well, he's really stepped up so far. 2 pole positions in 2 rounds there for Sam Swift Ninja. Cam alongside him on row 1. That's going to be fantastic going down to turn 1. Cam has not had a strong performance in a very long time in ALR Gold then, but look at that. We have seen it before. He has had pole position before. Cam has. I'm sure he's had pole position. Hang on. Let me have a gander at the old Bible. Where am I? Yes, he has had pole position. I'm sure it's Brazil as well, to be honest. But Cam then is on the row 1 here. Right, where's the comment section then? Because I was as a Cam there has used the profanity word there, but let's just say darn it for Cam then, as he was in the gold chat as well. Get ready for peas. Scrap says Equal said I set my time at the wrong time. GG Sam Swift Ninja, 2 out of 2 for Duke. Then best I could do, says Box Towers. A bit disappointed there. Looking at the gap there, 500 a second. That's why Cam has gone darn in the chat section. We have Menace, Van Von, Percy, Lights, Brabant, Immortal, Sweet Crown on his debut with a sweet performance there, and Mumford completes the top 10 of this Japanese Grand Prix. Oh, gosh. I'm going to be honest. I think I'm regretting that barbecue last night. It's just it's really repeating on me. Oh dear, oh dear. I had this lush chicken actually. I'm really into meat chicken at the moment. As of course try to Oh, I thought I had the black screen then. Trying to lose this big old love handles there, but unfortunately it's not going well. But you know, worth a go. There's all that jazz. But yes, I'm really into chicken mode. Absolutely love it. Fantastic stuff indeed there. But of course not as fantastic as Sam Swift Ninja's second pole position of the season is basically starting in the perfect position then. Of course, Percy and Lights are making their second Grand Prix start this season as well, as they are reserve drivers there, which is very good for them. Then hopefully we'll see Lights and Percy in a full-time role if some drivers wants to pull out and all that stuff. Ooh. Did everyone watch the Austrian Grand Prix earlier on today? I don't want to put any spoilers out. I quite enjoyed the race, to be fair, and I must say, if you haven't watched the Austrian Grand Prix, mute me, or you probably muted me already. But of course, fantastic stuff there for Kick Sauber and for Bortoleto. I was so happy for Bortoleto. Really cool stuff indeed, and it just shows that Bortoleto does have a lot of talent, doesn't he? Which is really good stuff indeed. Of course, and Bortoleto has done okay in this Grand Prix career so far, but it just needs these rookies do need a couple of races in, and that's why I felt that the likes of Jack Doohan and Liam Lawson really wasn't given a fair enough crack potential. But that's just me, of course. I've been waiting for full time roll for 3 seasons, says Lights. But Greg, the more you race out Lights, the more likely that you will be taking part as a full-time driver, and it's good to see because Lights you're a 2-time Grand Prix winner or a 1-time. As we got a lovely shot of the Marshal, back of the Marshal's head there. It's going to be famous by tonight, isn't it? Let's go for the grid. Soft, 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 soft. That is the top 4. Then we got hard tires for Sweet Crown and Keza and Boxtal and Nosy. Interesting stuff. Let's go for the grid. Sunset from Ninja, 10th pole position of his career, with Cam alongside him on row 1. It's great to see Cam back up there. But was that just, is Cam good in the wet? He's always been good in the wet then, but has he got pace in the dry? Third position is Menace there. So Menace will be happy with that then. Van Von in 4th position in the Red Bull, with Percy in 5th position in the second Kick Sauber. Of course, Percy's not eligible for points, for constructors' points, I should say, nor is Lights either, because they're all reserve drivers. Brabbit, happy 50th in 7th position there. 1-time winner sadly there for Lights End, but I'm sure you're a 2-time pole sitter, aren't you? Brabbit in 7th position there. Immortal, who's been on pole position 22 times. I think he's been on pole position like 30 in his career in total. There's Immortal going very wide there. Sweet Crown in 9th position, the highest hard runner. What a start for a Sweet Crown. 10th position Mumford, great qualifying for Mumford, with Troy in 11th position. 12th is Pease, and Pease did 1 run and that was it in the Alpine. He's making his first start of the season. Morris down in 13th position. Last time we said Morris, he was in the top 4, wasn't he? Incredible stuff indeed there. And then 14th is Keza, the second hard runner, with Equals in 15th. That is the best he can get out of that Red Bull, but he did well in Australia, I believe. I thought we got points there. Nameless in 16th. Both McLarens on row 9. Flippy down in 17th with Chaza in 18th. Goodness me, the qualifying went so quick that that's why I thought that Flippy was in 12th. Boxall in 19th, and goodness me, spinning almost in front of Knowlesy, and Knowlesy's not going to be too happy about the former runner-up in ALR Gold then. Sam Swift Ninja gets himself ready for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. I missed the end. Can you start again? No. I got to be in bed in an hour. I need my beauty sleep, of course. I need a lot of my beauty sleep as well. And believe it or not, I think I've finally started to have a beard as well, which is fantastic. I haven't shaven in a few weeks. My goodness me, my beard feels less bum fluffy now and more beardy. But Sam Swift Ninja's been disqualified, so he's going to be slightly further back on the grid. Oh, we got a nice zoom up here as we are now all lined up on the grid now. As that Alpina Pisa slightly out of his box there, but he should be fine. 5 lights are on. 5 lights are going to be off, and we are go in the land of the rising sun. There's a Percy's off. Contact. There's a huge smash at the back. Is that going to be a red flag? I'm not sure it's going to be a red flag, but Percy did not start, and that's a Williams of Troy. Boxall out of the race as well. Morris has lost. Oh, and there's more problems there as Percy has got going, but there's issues at the back, and we're going to have a full course caution here. It's a virtual safety car. I don't think that I'm just waiting to see if there's a red flag or not then, but goodness gracious me, Knowlesy out of the race as well. as Knowles has left the session, so it looks like it will be a red flag. Then restart, says Knowlesy. So it is a red flag. It'd be interesting to see what happened there. If it was if it was a technical gremlin, then fair enough. But if it's someone that's just missed the lights potentially, then I don't think don't think it should be a red flag. But that is just me. I'm just a guy in my comms box. Duke, what happened? What the? Indeed, what the as well. Then let me quickly find the restart. Oh no. I've just reported you, Mushroom. I'm so sorry. How do I stop this? Right. Ignore what's going on the stream then because we are doing a restart. So then, oh no, that's a formation lap. Get it together, Ginger Age. Come on, man. All this technology contraption. Yeah, I'm just going to take a quick look at the restart now. Goodness me, who is that that flew past? Is that Samsung Digital? Sweet crap. I'm not sure. Right then, anyway, I'm just taking a look at the restart, and then we'll go from there. So the grid lineup would be exactly as it was before. So we're just waiting for an invite, and then we'll be going from there. As a lovely shot here from Percy. So someone didn't go. It was the kick Sauber of Percy that didn't go, and then it just caused an absolute ricochet at the back there. So that was what happened then. So for some reason, Lucas Percy did not go, which is not ideal at all, then, is it? Unfortunately. Right, I'm back. I'm back in the present. WTF says Coop. Ignore this. Love that though, by the way. Oh, well, that was something. It says no chance, John. It certainly was, wasn't it? We've got a fast lap, but that's about it. Good stuff. There's a Jinner there with his Alonso. Look at that. Best start I've ever seen, says Coop. To be fair, I'd have been happy at that start. I reckon I should have played on. But then again, what do I know? But yeah, just waiting for an invite, and then we'll be getting back to it in just a jiffy. Actually, let's just stay in this lobby, shall we? It'd be interesting to know what. It'd be interesting to know what happened to Lucas Percy, to be honest, because I think that Percy did cause the issue there. Um, Goodness me. Game is tripping then, says Anthony. What happened then? That's the question that I think we all want to know, really. But something happened for the second kick Sauber, which caused a bit of a pile up at the back there. And unfortunately, a lot of drivers that retired there. To be fair, if it's a technical gremlin, I think that maybe it's okay to restart the race then. But I think in the real world, would it have been a restart in the real world? Probably would have been a red flag, actually, wouldn't it? There we go, then. Hopefully I'll get in a minute, unless I'm a gander. Right. Excuse that. By the way, I'm playing FIFA 21 because I think the new FIFA's are crap. So that's why. So do not at me, ladies and gentlemen. That is, I quickly get this this show back on the road. Then as I'm sweating profusely. Then I'm going to be honest. That if you're in the UK at the moment, it's very hot, and it's going to be hotter tomorrow. So Silver is going to be an absolute sweat box tomorrow, I must say. So it's going to be tough for the drivers. It really is. Then is I've been invited by Equans. Thank you very much, Equans. I feel loved. Fantastic. Right, that is. So we just load up the Oda game and stuff like that. I've got a present, by the way. Fantastic. Thank you very much, thank you very much. Right, I'm thinking it's just me and one other driver then. They're just waiting to get in the lobby then, and then we can go in just a jiffy. So, yeah, I think that, to be honest, I would say that the driver who calls the red flag or restart should probably start at the back of the field, but I don't think admins will have time to do that, to be fair. But that's just me, and maybe I'm just a harsh customer then. FIFA 21, tight git, says Serious Mushroom. But to be honest, I have got all I think I got the latest. What's the latest FIFA? Is it like FIFA 25, what, FC 25 or something like that, isn't it? I'm not sure. Vessier, who's basically got the lap record around here, saying I'm not racing tomorrow, so don't have to worry about me and Farf antics. You know what, Vessier? That is the most saddest thing I have read all weekend. So I'm devastated. I do love the Vessier and Farf rivalry. I think it's brilliant. But Vessier, by the way, you've got the lap record around here for gold, then, which is fantastic. 17. I think you set it back in season 10, 3 seasons ago. So well done indeed, there, Vessier. Vessier loves taking me out. Well, to be honest, I'm sure she'll be around the ALR esports. Did I say that? This is why I don't race on bronze anymore. Right, anyway, we're going to be back. We're going to be back racing in just a jiffy then. Percy says Percy's lights didn't go out and everyone went with him then. So that is what happened then. So Lucas Percy, for some reason, his lights didn't come on when everyone else was going then. So yeah, it was a technical gremlin there. To be fair, that's more of a game issue rather than a Percy issue, isn't it then? So maybe I retract my statement. I mean, because it's an admin as well, isn't it? Because, you got to be nice to all the admins. Oh, I certainly have. We love antics. I must admit, I do enjoy. Of course, didn't the Farf and Vessia rivalry start here? Was it round 4 last year? It was, wasn't it? Where Farf tried to let Vessia through, or Vessia tried to let Farf through, or something like that. At the hairpin, the Kobayashi hairpin. Or is it the Dunlop hairpin? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, Vessia and Farf collided into each other. Very odd. It was funny, but odd. But there you go. I mean, how dare I try and pull a thumbs up for these shenanigans there. So, oh yes, once I was decent as Vessia, and of course Vessia was third in the Bronze Championship a few seasons ago, and to be fair, you still have to be quite decent to be in silver and to midfield silver as well. Vessia is unlucky actually in Australia, but it was a tough race. Australia wasn't it? Of course, we had rain showers for both gold and silver in Australia. And then, of course, but in silver, everyone started on the dry tyres, which is very interesting indeed. Bronze had the lovely conditions, didn't they? Farfessier is faster than you. To be honest, I don't think that works anymore. I think that, of course, when they were both driving for the Williams team, lovely sunshine still as we are about to get going again. And, of course, there's a restart because Percy had issues with his lights. They didn't go off. And because of that, he was stuck on the grid. And we've had horrific shunts, haven't we, where cars haven't gone off the Owen got going on the grid then. I remember Kimi Räikkönen when he had a penalty in 2003 in Spain, or had to start from the back of the grid, went right into the back. Was it Ralph Furman or was it Pitsonia? I cannot remember now. If someone can correct me, that'd be fantastic. Sean, do you want to borrow a wooden spoon? Absolutely. He took me out as I was quicker than him. I don't believe that for a second, Bob. Deary me. Anyway, let's get on with the show, shall we? I'm in major trouble now. I think I'm probably on Favre's banned list now. Should drivers start on the tyres so they originally started on? Says Lightson. Well, unfortunately, it's a bit late now. I would say that because it's a new race and you shouldn't really need to. And you can see that we've already got different tyres anyway. Because it's deemed a new race, then you shouldn't really need to start on the tyres. Lights, Serious Russian says yes, I think. So I've already contradicted the rules. But because it's a new race, then you should be able to start on whatever tyres you started the race on. In your dreams, pal. Says Bessia. Right, let's go for the grid again then. Of course, it's been about 10 minutes since the end of qualifying, and I've got to refresh my memory. Samsung Ninja's 10th pole of his career. Cam alongside Monroe with Menace in third, with Van Von in fourth. Fifth position is Percy, the menace that caused all the issues at the beginning there. Of course, it wasn't Percy's fault, but I like to throw people in it. Lights in sixth position there. Lights asking about starting on the original tyres. I'm wondering if Lights would have wanted to go on to the medium. Onto the hard tyres, but he's on the he stays on the medium. Brabbit is in front of Lights here, he's forced him off the circuit there. That's not ideal, is it there? So, oh dear, there's going to be some more words there between Lights and Brabbit. I have no doubt about that. Immortal in 8th position, Sweet Crown in 9th there. Welcome to ALR, Sweet Crown. 10th position is Mumford there with Troy in 11th. P's in 12th position there. Love the helmet. 13th position is Morris, who's right at the back of the field at the moment there. Have I not got me, where's my trap map? There it is. Oh gosh, I've got a mini map there. We've got Morris in 13th position, Ketz is in 14th, 15th, apparently it's a two-stopper around here. 15th is Equals, and we're Nameless in 16th, Flippy in 17th, with 18th Chazza, 19th Boxstar, and Knowlesy is in the McLaren for some reason. And Chazza's in the Williams there. So I wondered why the grid looked different. So the Chazza and Knowlesy have decided to swap teams. Which I'm going to be honest, Knowlesy and Chazza, the seats are molded around the driver's head. So Chazza and Knowlesy are going to be feeling a bit uncomfortable, I'm sure of it. Knowles in the McLaren. Coop picks it up well before I did, didn't he? Goodness me. This time, though, Sam does park on the grid in a much better state there. Whose insurance settled then? Knowlesy is sick of the Williams already. He's only raced once, has he, Knowlesy? I said, but 20th on the grid there. 20 cars, and at this time, well, we've got 4 or 5 drivers this time, but not parked up very nicely then, so that's going to hurt a couple of meters on the grid then. We're waiting for the lights. Take 2 here in Japan then. Where are those lights then? Well, they were going to come on one at a time. I'm building up the suspense here, and now we are again going here. And there are the 5 lights then. There they are. There's a pause. And we are racing, and we go down into turn 1. Van Von's already past Menace, as Percy's already dropped out of position there, but Sam Swift Ninja keeps the lead there, with Khan still in second position there. There's a Alpine of lights out down at the inside. Menace is down 2 positions already. A terrible start for the Ferrari driver. Percy's also lost a position as well, as he's trying to get himself back into the groove, with Bravitt followed by a Malta, followed by Pease up 9 positions. Great stuff for the former 5-time Grand Prix winner. Sweet Crown down in 10 position. Mumford's out of the points out of 11 position. We've got problems at the back. It's Nameless. Nameless, who had a difficult Australian Grand Prix, has had a difficult start to the Japanese Grand Prix as well. Same with Morris. Morris has dropped down into 16th position. There he is in the Haas. He's down 3 positions so far. Contact there. One of the Williams is, one of the McLarens, I should say, is off the circuit of Chazadon. A lot of debris on the outside of the Degnas there, so they've got to be very careful there. Soundswift Ninja's already almost out of DRS range already. There's only one DRS zone around here, and that's on the start finish straight there. As he come up into Spoon then. Cam is a second back already from his ex-teammate. On board with Van Von then, who's made up a position there. Lights is up 2 positions. Great start there for Lights as we got to Troy and Equals there. Swap position Equals once again, like last week, has gone up the couple of positions at the grid there. And that's Mumford then, who's struggling. Mumford got it's on a wet setup there, potentially. We don't really have wet and dry setup, so the ball through up the inside of the 130R, and Equals in 12th position, following Troy through. There's a McLaren behind us then. A Flippy trying to get past one of the the racing ball. Contact there, and goodness me, is Mumford coming into the pits there. Mumford's got a 10-second speed aid, and he's out of the race. And that's the first retirement of the gold season, sadly. Mumford frustrated there, potentially. I wonder if he lost course issues there on the opening lap there. He must have done, because he came in the pits there, but out of the race there. And unfortunately, that also hurt Filippi as well then. There's the interval timing so far then, and Mumford is furious there in the racing ball, and out of the race, unfortunately already. Van Von then still about 10th of a second back there. This is going to be very difficult for the drivers out there, because there's going to be a lot of dirty air emulating off the back of the cars. Of course, then, who's that off the circuit then? I think that was Menace who dipped his wheel onto the grass, now locking up the inside tyre into the Kobayashi hairpin. Menace struggling at the moment, but as long as he's in that DRS, I think that is going to be crucial in today's Grand Prix. But we are going to also see a lot of DRS trades, I am sure of it. Bravitt all over the back of Lucas Percy like a rash here into the Spoon curve. So Percy might be feeling a bit hot and bothered by Bravitt's advances here in the Haas car. Out of Spoon corner then, of course, no DRS at this stage of the circuit. Then as we go under the Louis Vuitton banner there, which of course seems to have taken over F1 sponsorship at the moment, which is fantastic. Mumford has too much wing, says Serious Mushroom now. And I'm wondering if Mumford then just had the issues with the car setup handling, and kind of it's going to be a tough road race. Sunswift Ninja set the fast half of the race. Waltzed away. The gap is 1.2 seconds from Van Von in second position. Now we've got a bit of a queue starting to form behind Van Von then, with Sweet Crown, who is on the hard tyres currently in 10th position. Lovely shot for the nose, counting here of Sweet Crown's teammate for this race, which is Menace. Menace on the soft tyres just didn't go anywhere. Apologies. I've had too much Monster today. Trying to get me blood pumping, and of course, what a better way to get your blood pumping on a Sunday by watching this instead of watching Heartbeat. I don't know. Is that still a thing, Heartbeat? I must swear, I watch double TV on a Sunday at ages. To be honest, I'm usually watching Formula One or some bit of football. Not the Club World Cup though, because I'm not enjoying it. But there you go. But I've got what's that? That's nosy off the circuit, and of course, finding the McLaren a bit tad difficult. Then, as the McLaren team have really struggled in the opening stages there. So Menace on the soft tyres there, that hasn't helped him at all. He's dropped behind Lights, and I'm wondering if those soft tyres are starting to become a problem. Lights is the highest runner on the medium tyres. Then after that is Percy, Brabbitt, Immortal, and Peas. Sweet Crown is now within DRS, and Brabbitt is all over the gearbox. Brabbitt is up for this one, isn't it? On his 50th Grand Prix side now. A lot of curb there from the former champion. Of course, Brabbitt also the silver former champion as well. So a lot of champions in gold now, isn't it? Of course, which is fantastic. Gap is stabilised. Look at that. Brabbitt trying to break the slipstream here, but Immortal down in 8th position. Immortal is normally is on pole position, but unfortunately for Immortal, qualified slightly down the order. And he's now in 8th position in the racing ball. The only racing ball in this race. Heartbeat, it's not the 90s serious, but you let that long ago, surely not. Gosh, I'm showing my age, aren't I? What does everyone watch on Sundays now? Was that no? Holby City was Tuesday, wasn't it? And then the Casualty was Saturday night as well, along with was it Brucey's Prices Right? Was it or something like that? Was it with those big old cards as well, which is quite cool. Goodness gracious me! But got to be careful though, because of course, sadly, a lot of our a lot of the presenters from the 90s, especially on Saturday Night TV, have been a bit naughty, haven't they, in their time in the spotlight then. And unfortunately, then, as we're just going up into the spoon curve once again. So the gap is now 8/10 of a second. I reckon Cam's dropped back here. He's realised that he's lost that. Well, I think he's realised that he's just losing too much tyre performance and has dropped back ever so slightly. I'm absolutely perspiring with sweat then. YouTube, I don't watch TV. To be fair, I don't either anymore. Because there's nothing really exciting to watch on TV anymore, is there? Just out of the triangle chicane. Is anyone going to come in the pits? I thought the Cam was coming in the pits there, but I don't think he fooled anyone else apart from me. Menace back on board, down in 5th position. Menace, of course, got podium in Australia just over a week ago. He would probably like another pole position as well, but I must say that Sam Swift Ninja is probably in a different race at the moment. And goodness me, I was saying that the earliest Japanese Grand Prix was probably 94, was it, in the AIDA circuit? So we've got a gaggle of cars right at the back of the field, Nameless 4 seconds away. Then Boxstar's had an issue with Chaz and Knowlesy also at the back of the field as well. So difficult times there for the drivers at the back of the field. Sam Swift Ninja, 2.5 in front of the rest. As I was saying, then, the last time we had a Japanese Grand Prix round 2, I think it was AIDA, was it, the Yokoyama circuit. And it feels like the Sam Swift Ninja is in the Yokoyama part of the world already, isn't he? Because he is flying up there at the moment as the triple world champion there. My goodness me. On board with Cam, then a really good start to the season. Cam has always shown up flashes of brilliance, hasn't he? But has always come up short in the race, and of course, has always got a bit wrong, whether it's gone to strategy or being involved in some incidents or collisions or bad safety cars, or badly timed safety. Oh, sorry, I thought that was a spider crawling on me, sorry. It's my cable. Coming up with the brown ale, goodness me. Where am I? Oh yeah, badly timed safety cars there for I can't compose myself now, for Kaz Van Bon. Oh, Percy getting very close to the back of Menace's rear posterior there as we come out to the triangle chicane. Look at that then. We got Lights and he's through. He is through. And Van Bon is through as well. Whilst I've been waffling on, I missed that overtake. But Lights is now up into third position. So Cam is dropping down the order now. And here comes Menace. And so Cam is struggling on those tyres then. Those hard runners are not one stopping. Oh dear! And it's Bogstow. I wonder if he was trying to go in the pits or something. Those hard tyre runners are not one stopping, says Serious Motion. So yeah, what do you think that much? If you've seen something with your BDI there, which I have missed, I've missed a lot actually, because I didn't even realise that Kaz Van Bon got past whilst I was waffling away. Oh, the hairpin, and look, Percy is now starting to come into this race as well. feel that soft tires are starting to struggle there. Lights is going to be a major factor in this race. I feel that so Serious Mission doesn't think it's going to be a one stop. I think if you go from medium to hard tires, surely that will get you to the end of the race, won't it? What I like about this game is, especially in the early stages, is you do not know what the best strategy is. A lot of drivers would have been doing a lot of pre-race work, haven't they? Of course, there was a practice session about 2 hours ago for some drivers there, just trying to get their eye in. And there's Menace Max. He is going for it. He's having a look at the inside into the triangle chicane. But that's great defending there from Cam. Lovely stuff. He parts himself on the exit into the pits there. And so they're both into the pits. And they've got to be careful that they don't overtake the speed limit. They've done fine. And now Lucas Percy is under the caution, but I think he had DRS there, didn't he? Of course, you get DRS then from the car in front if you're a second in the car in front. But Percy is now going to have no DRS there. And he's got a lot of drivers in the background. Goodness me, just near for that his heels head. Formula 1 is normally described as a piranha club, and he has certainly got a lot of piranhas clipping at his heels head. Sofson, not good, says Camera Racer. Is Camera Racer back off holiday this week? I hope he is. Maybe I should have looked at the checkout. Morris is in the pits, and Morris is now onto the hard tyres. Menace is on the hard tyres as well. Cam is gone to the medium tyres. So Cam thinks this is going to be a two-stop, unless he can nurse those tyres to the end from here. But there's 20 laps to go in this Japanese Grand Prix. So anything can still be done here. All depends on how hard you push on the dirty air. Absolutely, dirty air on this game is a major problem, is it, for drivers? So drivers have really got to think tactically now, which is cracking stuff indeed. There, and of course we do like a lot of drivers having a ponder. At the moment, Sam Swift Ninja's up to his pace, even for another 3/10 a second to Van Von. So Cam has come out. He's a second and a half behind Knowlesy. Menace is still under the gearbox of Cam as well. So those are the early runs at the pit. Also, Morris is in the pits as well. And I think the Morris is on the medium tyres, isn't he? And he's now gone on to the hard compound tyres as Morrison. So Morris is pitted early, going for the undercut. Rivals at the front, Sound Swift Ninja and Van Born are staying out there. And look at this, as Lights is having a sniff there, going down into turn 1. Percy and Bravitt there. Goodness me, you can barely tell which car is which there. What's happening in front there? Lights there, I thought he was getting past there, Van Born, as he went a bit deep into the into turn 2, but it's all fine for now. As Caso is under the caution here, because I think the medium tyres are now the quicker race tyre. That's what's happened for Pease. Pease has had issues there, and he's dropped down 3 positions to the Alpine car. And oh dear, he's going to drop right down the other side. Bravitt back on board. Bravitt, look at that. Look at the defending from Carlson. He is defending it now. There's a big old train, and Lights is going to be a bit. He's going to be cursed himself to not getting past, because look at the time he's lost. He's lost a second there on this lap alone. Yellow flag, and is Chaza off? Chaza's off the circuit there. What's happened there for Chaza, unfortunately? Coming back on now on the Williams, and he's normally in the McLaren. But Chaza and Knowles have decided to play musical chairs tonight. Bravitt all over the gearbox now of Percy. Is getting very interesting. The gap is was 2 seconds, has dropped back to under 2 seconds as well. Then it's going to be very much a game of cat and mouse here. Van Von flying past me. I love that camera shot. Almost took me off me poof into the triangle game once again. Cam has got past Knowlesy. Knowlesy's lost out 2 positions there. Knowlesy on the harder tyre into the pits. There is the 2 race leaders, and so Sam Swift in, and also Lights. No, also Kaz is in the pits as well. Lights takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix, and that is exactly what he wanted there. So where is so Sam Swift Ninja in the pit? Sam Swift Ninja is going to be in the pits now. He's on the hard tyres. Here's Sam Swift Ninja aiming to go to the end of the race. Where is Cam? Look how much time Cam has lost there. He's coming out the pits now. Cam may have lost a position there. Yes, so that's over the pit line there. And Van is through as well. And Menace is now behind them. But Menace are, unfortunately, we are 2 lap older tyres. Was hoping to get past those 2, but they haven't cleared the traffic quick enough. And that is going to be crucial. I think in this race is about getting past the traffic quickly in your point of the pit stops and all that stuff. Oof, out of the hairpin then. So Lights leads, Percy second position, Brabbit is in third. There's a Mortal in fourth position, followed by Sweet Crown. Oh, he's under the radar. There is the Ferrari in fifth position now. Troy is up in sixth position. Pease is in seventh, who's had a bit of an excursion. Equals is in eighth position with Keza in ninth position, and Flippy, the silver champion, in 10th position there. And once again, though, it's the curse of the silver champion in gold. They do seem to struggle, don't they, when the silver champion comes up to gold. Then a lot of the silver champions have really struggled, haven't they? Soft medium, soft says Serious Mushroom then. So Serious Mushroom thinks that it could still be a two-stopper. The hard tires are not the best. A race tire. Troy is off. What's happened there? And Troy, I don't think anyone was around him there, but Troy has had an excursion into the pits. There comes Equals, and so Equals is in then, and I think that's going to be hard tires. Percy takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. My word, there action everywhere. Of course, this race is not really deemed to be an overtaken circuit as much as Boxstow's got the first 3-second penalty of the night. Hard to the end, says Jinner. But now Percy leads this race, but now has he got his medium tires in better condition than Lights? But Brabbit there, of course, he's been stuck behind Percy, is now stuck behind the Alpine car. Percy's waltzed away here. He's almost 0.8 of a second in front. There he is. Goodness gracious me, he needs to find another 0.2 of a second, and he's out at DRS. Percy's flying out there, and Percy has really taken the reins off himself, and is flying. He's out at DRS range there. As Lights there. There's a Ferrari. Also having issues as well. Sweet Crown is I'm not sure if he had contact into the hairpin or not. But goodness gracious me, Keza's not been hit yet. It's the game broke then. To be honest, Keza's still going straight now. There's been a lot of drivers making a couple of mistakes here and there. And Lights there, I think, is going to be horrified by the pace, isn't he, of that kick salvo of Percy, because he's just absolutely rocketed away from the Alpine machine. Look at this, and oh my goodness me, on the outside there goes the kick, there goes the racing bull, but Brabbit has kept his position somehow, but it's going to get very interesting. Lights is in the pits then. So Lights is coming to the pit zone, almost going over the speed line, and look at Sweet Crown now, also all over the gearbox, as he has a look at the racing bull into turn one, but that racing bull has also got DRS range, has also got DRS from Brabbit. My word then, Pease has stayed out into the pits, also came Troy as well. Van Vaught has set the fastest up of the race set as you go down into turn one, and there is Van Vaught, and Van Vaught has taken the de facto lead. He is on the medium tires. Of course, Sam Swift is on the hard compound tires, is the world champion, but Van Vaught is through and up into ninth position, but he has a car of Nameless in front of him who has not stopped in the Aston Martin yet, so he's going to be held up here. Of course, Nameless is not going to jump out the way of Van Vaught, because this is still a raceful position. It doesn't matter what strategy you're on, you still have to get past the driver without blue flags, of course, unless of course you're a lap down. Wow. Menace is now 3 seconds back. Oh gosh, there's issues at the back of the field, and it's one of these cars here that's had an issue. Equals is on a new set of media hard tires, while Troy is now at the back of the field, but is also on a new set of tires as well. Van Vaught all over the gearbox of Nameless here as he's trying to overtake before Spoon. He might have a run if he's got enough deployment in that battery. I think he should use it now here, because he's going to lose too much time surely by waiting for the DRS, and there he goes. Nameless there is not going to be able to defend that one there, and Nameless has lost out. What about the kick salver of Sam Swift? Ninja! Oh my goodness me! And through into the 130R, and Sam Swift Ninja now into 9th position there, and he's very much going to have a go, have an assault on Van Vaught into turn one. Into the pits there comes Brabbit, Pease, Immortal, and Keza in the pits as well. Here comes Sam Swift Ninja, retakes the lead, the de facto lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. When the strategy sorts itself out, Sam Swift Ninja back into 4th position with Van Vaught in 5th bed as, goodness me, now the top 3 have not pitted yet, so that is Percy 2 seconds in front of Sweet Crown, who is at 9 seconds in front of Flippy, who is also staying out as well on that one stopper. Menace is now 3.25 seconds back with Cam doing a great job in 4th position. Lights is in 5th. Brabbit has come out in 6th position. position, but he's on the hard tyres. Same as Immortal. Morris, who pitted 5 laps ago, is also in 11th position on the hard tyres. Then we've got Boxtel, 3-second penalty. Then Knowlesy. Then we've got Pease, who is on a fresh set of hard tyres. Then Troy, who's also on a fresh set of hard tyres with Equas as well. Chaz has not pitted yet in 70th position. Keza and Nameless have pitted, and they're 18th and 19th. That is the standings at the moment there. Waller moving to the 130 yard. That was an incredible manoeuvre there. Sadly, we had the curve cam there, and that's one time I didn't really want the curve cam. Pease is through and up into 14th position there. Passes Knowlesy, and I think that Knowlesy is now going to have his teammate. Yes, they're in different cars. It's like IndyCar tonight, isn't it, for the Williams and McLaren teams? But yes, Troy is Knowlesy is Troy's teammate, so I wonder if Knowlesy might just let his teammate through here. He does indeed. And up into 14th position. Smart play from Alexander. Percy leads, but the gap is now gone down by 0.8 of seconds since we last checked in with the race leaders. Here is Crown. This is debut. Braveheart says Sears Mushroom. Absolutely redonkulous at Kaz Van Von is back through and into 4th position now. Going into turn 1. Oh my word, we've got a lot of action, haven't we? Down into turn 1, which is very impressive. I mean, DR is quite powerful, isn't it? As we got Boxtel, who is on a older set of hard tyres. Van Von is now got deja vu, because a similar thing that happened to Van Von last time he overtook Sam Swift. Now he's got a McLaren in front of him, a Flippy, who's the silver champion there. He would like to get past ASAP here. Flippy harvested into the 2 Dagners here. Is Van Von going to have a sniff into the hairpin now? Flippy then is not really defending, so he goes up the inside there, and Flippy's got damage there. That's unbeknownst to me. That's why Flippy's struggling. So, of course, I think the Flippy would be hoping for some kind of safety car. Lights is past Cam as well. Good stuff indeed. Now, can Sam Swift Ninja follow Van Von through here into the spoon curve? Not quite then. So Sam Swift Ninja is going to follow him through, but look at that. He's got so much more purchase than on the 12 old shod McLaren, and up into 4th goes Sam Swift. Sam Swift, though, is still in DRS range of Kaz Van Von, and that is crucial in the outcome of this race, I feel. Having said that, though, of course, Kaz is on a 4-lap old medium tyres. Can he get to those medium tyres yet? Because we've seen 13 laps there from Percy. I feel that he's going to have a good go, isn't he? But he needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining now. He needs to make hay. He needs to really get that gap out from Sam Swift Ninja. I've got an itchy ear. Ooh. Goodness me. Wow, what an incredible start to this race. And Percy's in the pits. Also in the pits is Flippy as well. So let's see if Flippy changes that front nose cone. It is difficult, especially the first sector. If you've got damage around this circuit, it is so painful. Car setup is very crucial around here. Now, Lights could be on a similar strategy to Van Von here. He's on the medium tyres as well, as Menace Max is on, Menace, I should say, is on the harder tyres. And 7 laps, and same with Cam, who's dropping off now, because next up is Brabant then. So Cam there is struggling to keep up. In the Sweet Crown has caught up to Percy then, says Duke then. Sweet Crown is an incredible debut here tonight, isn't he? Sweet Crown is fantastic. It's great somebody listen to the lockups there. Tortured Pirelli rubber there into the hairpin for Brabant. Oh my word. And Cam is also really torturing his Pirelli tyres as well. Great qualifying for Cam. I think that Cam would like to have wished it was raining out there. It was raining out there, but Brabant then all over the gearbox now is Van Von has brought the gap down to under 10 seconds. Just to say that it goes back up then to 10 seconds. As here comes Brabant, and look at Cam, he's harvesting here. Cam is going to harvest. There's that lovely shot here. Oh my goodness gracious me. Brabant there is all over the gearbox here with the Aston Martin. But going into the triangle chicane. No dice at the moment. And out of this triangle chicane, and I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of jostling going down into turn 1 now. We've also got Lights, who is, and Menace trying to defend as well. Lights is very close. He is not close. He is through and up in the 4th position. Brabant is past Cam as well. Cam is starting to drop down the order, sadly, for the Aston Martin driver. He's starting to struggle with pace. He's done 8 laps on the medium tyres. Is that the medium tyres are starting to go past their best? Brabant's next target is the similar shod hard tyre of Menace. When I was on, I've got to say, when we was on board with the Haas here, I thought that Ferrari looked sparking away. Then, of course, Ferrari already had issues with the of course, the plank that was disqualified from the Chinese Grand Prix, wasn't it? Oh, it's skidding now for Menace. So the Ferrari is run quite low, isn't it? Into the hairpin as well. Then Menace, who's on the similar tyre as Brabant. And when he was on board with Brabant, on board the nose cone. I thought that was an Alpine, to be honest. Morris! Oh gosh, he's off the circuit to the hairpin. And Morris has lost a couple of positions there to Pease and Troy, and down into 12th position for the Haas car. And Morris is having a bit of a tough event here tonight, isn't it? Unfortunately for the Haas driver. Casanova's going to fade by the end on the medium tyres. Goodness me. It's on board now with Menace. Lights is 5/10 of a second away. Whoa, Immortal is through as well. Passes Carson up into 7th position. Percy is now caught up to the back as well. Sadly, Kaz on the hot medium tyres has just not got pace there, and he's almost, I thought he was going into the pits there, just couldn't get the power down, and now the Aston Martin is not going to be able to fight for Percy. He has not fought at all, and he's down into 9th now. Next target, Kaz could struggle to score points at this rate then, as Percy already onto the back of Immortal very quickly indeed here. The gap is down to down to almost under 8 seconds, and the gap in front. And Soundswift Ninja is being pulled along quite nicely in that in that battle there. On board with Purse, then Immortal's not got DRS now. That is crucial when it comes around to the start-finish straight. Even though we've seen a lot of overtaking into the 130 yard line. Incredible stuff indeed. Ivan, hello commentator. Good to hear you again. Keep up the great work, bro. Thank you very much, Ivan. I really appreciate that. To be honest, so. It's not a lot of work. It's a lot of good fun. Well, I absolutely appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ivan. And I've screenshot that because that means a lot to me. Safety car would suit Sweet now. Then, of course, Sweet there, who is going longer in this race. And, of course, he's the only driver not to pit. And the same with Knowlesy as well in the McLaren Williams combination there for Knowlesy. Now is Brabbit all over the gearbox of a Menace into the 130R, into the pits as our race leader, Sweet, then on his debut. Leading on this debut there for Sweet. Goodness me, we got another Jacques Fielder. Fantastic. But Sweet into the pits, and he's going to throw on medium tires as he get him to the end of the race, and we'll see what the Ferrari does. Sam Swift Ninja has taken the lead. There he is. He's taken the lead, the factor lead there. And now we've got Lights. Oh my gosh, and the Haas got bolted there by Lights, and on the outside goes Menace Max. Oh, incredible. That is outstanding. He's done it. Contacts. No, he hasn't done it. It's Lights more braver into the start, the S's. What a potential overtake there. And sadly, I think it was Browett had nowhere to go, did he? Unfortunately, because he was catching up to Lights. The Ferrari's on the left-hand side, and Browett just couldn't find the space there. Percy on the outside into the deck. Oh, contact there. And my word there. And, of course, overtaking into the Degnas is never a good idea. But goodness me, how is both drivers survived that is beyond me. And someone are going to straight an hour. Positions, please, says Farfair. Farfair is very eager to get that driver of the day vote out. There are the positions at the moment. Cam is just coming to the pits, and unbeknownst to me. So at the moment, Sam Swift Ninja leads the race, and of course from pole position, Van Von is up into second position. He's up for 2 positions there. Lights is up 3 positions there. With Menace down a position. Up 2 is Brabbit then. Down 1 is Person. Then Mortal up 1. Peace up 4. Fantastic drive from Peace. Troy up 2 as well. Sweet Crown is down in 10th position, but he's on a fresh set of medium tyres. Equals up 4. Morris only up 1 with Nameless up 1 as well. Is that Ferrari off? That Ferrari is off. I see it in the corner of my eye. And now Menace is trying to defend that. Brabbit trying to get past, but he's going to be out of the DRS race. Into the pits comes Menace, and he's on a fresh set of hard tyres. So Menace is in the pits now. On board with Brabbit, that is the kick salvage all over the gearbox. They're going into turn 1 there on the outside. But Brabbit, oh, he's going up there. It's a fantastic manoeuvre. And Percy's up into 4th position. What a manoeuvre! Gosh, I sound like one of those old wrestling commentators. Percy takes 4th position, an incredible manoeuvre, and up into 4th position goes Percy. Like in Australia, he's really coming into his own again in the late stage of this Grand Prix. However, this is on the slick tyres rather than the intermediate tyres. Big old lockup from Lights there at the moment as we go under the crossover. Sam Swift Ninja's got a second there on Van Von there with Lights in 3rd position. Percy's in 4th. Brabbit in 5th position. The 6th position is Immortal with P7. Troy in 8th position. Sweet Crown is 9th. And Equals is in the top 10. Great 17 there for Equals. I hope you've practiced for Wednesday, Sean. What race is it? So they're on board with Percy as well. That didn't help. That didn't help, did it, Farf? So Farf, I think, is still going to be wondering about the driver of the day. And here comes Brabbit as Percy. I thought it was going to be a sitting duck there as they fly past her again. I love that shot, man. As Brabbit, I thought he was going to go for into the triangle chicane. Of course, Setter and Prost, albeit the chicane was slightly different back in 1989. Lights in the pits as well. So, lights in the pits. And sorry if I forgot to just change the tyres because I want to see who's doing what. Menace is back on the medium tyres. Lights is in the pits, and so he has pitted that. So my question now is, can Van Von go to the end on those medium tyres? I'm thinking no. Anyone else then is on the hard tyres and they're going to be a bit slower, aren't they? But even so, I think that the one stopper is probably going to be a lot quicker than the two stopper. I hazard to guess that. Sweet Crown is going to be a major factor later on in this race as well. He's a second and a quarter behind Pease. Then we got this battle here because you'll see Sweet Crown with a long shot. We're going to see Sweet Crown in a minute. There he is in the background. There's the Ferrari. Sweet Crown on the medium tyres, very young medium tyres as well for Sweet Crown. So this is going to be edge of your seat stuff. Percy trying to bolt and get out of the DRS of Brabbit here. On board with Brabbit, and he's not going to let that happen. Sam Swift Ninja is still got pressure on him from Kaz Van Von. He's only got a Grand Prix win. I say only. He's got a Grand Prix win to his name. Then Menace has got past Keza, who's down into 30 finish. And Menace number 12. He's the first of the two stoppers there. Other drivers on the two stopper. His lights has gone to the hard tyre, so I don't think he had any medium, did he? And also, you've got a couple of drivers also going on to the two stopper as well. I said two stop. I said two stop. One stop is hard. It certainly is. Yeah, because Van Von is also in the pits as well now. So Van Von is coming to the pits, and here's the battle for second position. It's going to be a Kickshammer 1-2. It was, but Brabbit is up into second position now. What a drive from Brabbit. This is one of his best performances in ALR Gold. Oh my goodness me! Almost the commentator's curse there. Brabbit to one of his best performances in Gold. Then can he get second? And I think that'll be his best performance of his career. He has been on the podium before. Brabbit has. I think he's been on the podium 3-4 times. But Brabbit will be able to be happy to get a second position on here as a Flippy is through. Passes Nameless, and Menace is now catching up to the back as well. Flippy's done a really good recovery there, hasn't he? Van Von is gone soft tyres. What's happened? Boxed out. I think he's had a trip off the grass there. Yellow flag was up momentarily. But, yeah, Van Von's gone soft here. So I wonder if those soft tyres are going to get to the end then. I can't remember how long they got on the opening stage of this Grand Prix. Menace Max in, Menace, I should say, in 12th position there. Sweet Crown P2. Good to see the difference. Sweet Crown P2 says Menace. Sorry, Jidder. Well, I'd say yes, because I don't think the driver's going to be able to defend from him. And there's a ghost Alpine there of Lights, who is just recovering by the looks and trying to go on the outside of Keza here. Keza's trying the one stop as well. But I think that it was the opening stage, as the opening stint there for Keza that has really hurt him. Love the helmet, by the way. I think the Lewis Hamilton helmet from 2014 or 15 or 16 in Silverstone. One of those years, anyway. I'm sure I got it right somewhere. Here comes Sweet Crown, and Sweet Crown is through in 5th position. Brabbit is lost out to Percy. It's a 1-2 for Kick Sauber again, which would be very good indeed. That the question I got is, would this 1-2 count, even though constructors' points don't count for Percy? Not sure. Right, it probably will actually. Menace is now into 11th position. We don't get many 1-2s in ALR Gold. Boxed out into the pits at 10-second penalty. Boxed out as our second retirement of this evening. Menace is up into 11th position in the Ferrari. Next target is Flippy, who's on a not too badly used hard tyres. 7 laps on the hard tyres. On board of Pease, who's driving superbly well. Pease only finished on the podium when he finished the race. Only finished 3rd last season. Apart from that, he retired from every other race. But Pease is looking strong here tonight, and that's great to see. On his debut as well. Nice debut there for Jidder is saying from Sweet Crown. He's driving superbly well. Sweet Crown is. I think a lot of drivers are going to sit up and take notice of this newcomer, Sweet Crown, because he has been sweet, hasn't he? He's been fantastic. 2 retirements in this race. So we had no retirements in Australia last week. Sadly, we got 2 this week. I think we had a couple. We had no retirements in silver. We had a couple in bronze then. Not my fault though, because I wasn't racing. We're now going to have a proper good old scrap here. The question I've got is, can Sam Swift Ninja's hard tires do another 6-7 laps there? That would be quite a lot of laps there from Sam Swift Ninja, and the gap is starting to come down. The gap is now 5.5 seconds, unless Sam Swift Ninja made a mistake somewhere. This is interesting. I love these variety of strategies here. Sweet Crown then is also could be a factor for his potential for his Grand Prix win. We was talking about whether he could get on the podium, but can he get a Grand Prix win? It's out of the question. It's about 6 seconds the gap is with 5 laps to go. I feel that might be a bit too late in the day, unfortunately, for Sweet Crown. But then again, what do I know? Not a lot. That's all I can say. Not a lot. Then, apologies. As we've got the Driver of the Day award then that has come out. Sweet Crown then currently in 5th for this moment. Brabbit, Sam Swift, Kaz and Troy there for Driver of the Day. Brabbit there is at the moment there the highest Driver of the Day. Fantastic stuff indeed. The 10-second penalty into the pits is way too harsh. And yeah, 5 seconds was bad enough, says Jinner. I think it's 10 seconds in real life though as well, isn't it? Here's a Molto in 4th position there. Brabbit, who is in 3rd. I'm wondering if we're going to start to see a bit of strategy here. Here's Sam Swift Ninja, who's leading the race, but the gap is now under 5 seconds. Is Sam Swift Ninja starting to struggle on his tyres? Because that gap is coming down quite quickly here. Is Sam Swift Ninja struggling on his tyres, or is he nursing them home with just 4 or 5 laps to go in this Grand Prix? Oh, this is going to get good. Sam Swift Ninja leads that. The gap is 4.4. Brabbit second. Person second. Brabbit third position. And Mortal fourth. Sweet Crown in 5th position there. Sweet Crown, I think, is quite happy in 5th position on there, but I'm wondering if he can, because you can see Sam Swift Ninja going through the S's there. I'm probably feeling that he might be able to get certainly be thinking about a podium now. Flippy is through, and now Morris has lost out. He's out of the points, unfortunately. Morris, it's a difficult day there for the Haas driver, and Cam is now through. It's a difficult day for Cam as well, sadly, on the front row of the grid, down in 13th position there. This race might come back to him now, but the 2 stoppers out there, I feel that this race has not gone how they would have liked it then. With the 2 stop, I think the 1 stop is certainly the way to go, but you have to be careful then. Could tell you wasn't racing, Sean. Vintage didn't get hit, says there's Mushroom. You cheeky mushroom. He's right though. I'm sure that Vintage's race in Australia was actually he retired because of me, because I think I gave him a glancing blow as in Australia last year, which it wasn't my fault. To be fair, I just got really slow reactions, and sadly, I didn't even damage my car, which is shocking enough, isn't it? But yeah, I think the Vintage is happy that a certain Ginger Rage is not racing in bronze this season. Is not racing in bronze this season. The gap is now 3/10 a second. The gap is stabilised at the front now. It's 4.4 seconds there. Out to the final turn. My hands are so sweaty, they keep clicking. Brabbit, though, I think it's going to struggle, because I think that Percy is doing a really good job here of just managing his Earth's deployment. And P's in the background is only 1.8 seconds back as well. Oh, this is going to get very good indeed. Sweet Crown as a kind of just... oh, what's happened there? What's that contact? Well, Troy's got damage as Van Von was tried to overtake, but the half spun by the looks on his fruit. Troy has lost out and also lost a wing as well. He should be able to get to the end from here on in, but Troy there only looking at the lower ends of the points there. Menace is through to 9th position. Flippy is down into 10th, and now he's going to have to fend off Lights as well, who's got half the tyre life as the McLaren driver. So Flippy could be looking over his shoulder, but I've got to say that's a very good recovery from Flippy. When it was looking not too great for Flippy when he was coming into the pits after the nose cone change there. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I absolutely appreciate that. It's great to have, we've got 30 viewers. Fantastic stuff indeed. I'm getting stage fright here. Driver of the Day votes are up then. Brabbit 45%, 36% for Sam Swift. Troy on 18% at the moment then. So that is the ball game at the moment. And my gosh, I'm going to be honest, a lot of drivers are going to be like me. Can't wait for this race to end, because they're probably more sweaty than I am. And unfortunately, I'm wearing Lights has got a 3-second penalty. That could hamstring his potential chance for points today. Brabbit is going for it. Percy's gone defensive, so Brabbit's on the outside. Oh my goodness. And Percy keeps that position. just about. Gap is down to under 3 seconds. Flippy's got a 3-second penalty as well. That means that it is all fair now, so it's all up in the air. Here, as Flippy is still keeping that, is still within DRS range of Menace, and Menace is going to have to defend. He does defend. Flippy on the outside. He's done it, has he? Not quite. That is the turn two. Yes, no, yeah, no, he hasn't. Since Ferrari is still through. And a great 70 there. I keep getting caught up because turn 2 does tighten on the exit, doesn't it? But what, we almost had another overtake like that, didn't we, earlier on in this race? Incredible. Gap is now under 3 seconds out of the battle at the front end. I wonder if Samsung Ninja is just probably nursing those tires in there, but it's a very narrow, depending on whether it's going for a 1 or 2 stop here. I think the 2 stop is the best way to go. However, the problem is though that oh no, and Morris is off the circuit there, and I think it's been a tough race for the Haas driver, unfortunately, and down into 15th position. Here's the gap at the front. Brabant is now really putting the pressure on the kick salver, and this is going to be interesting. I prefer not to speak, says Serious Mission. Yellow flag is still for the Haas car if Morris is recovering, and Immortal could be actually thinking he might be able to get up to the second here. Let's find out then, because Brabant is about 600 seconds away. That we just in the flash of the other kick salver of Sam Swift Ninja. Sweet Crown is a drop right off the back there. Has there been issues at the yellow flag there? As it's still the Haas touring in then. I was just taking a look there. I wonder if Sweet Crown had an issue on that lap then, because he's dropped back and Pease is almost all over the gearbox. Here comes Lights then. Here's Menace as well. And now here's Flippy. Flippy's going to have to get defensive here. And going into turn 1 there. An incredible stuff. And oh, Lights up the inside. Diving up the inside. An opportunistic maneuver here. But no, Flippy's not going to give up. They're going side by side. And the Flippy is still hanging out on the outside, up the inside, and then he will have the outside again. Then and look at Lights and fighting. What a maneuver! What incredible battle between the two cars, and almost a spin. And Lights is through him to 10th position. Oh wow, that was just for a championship point then. And goodness me, as he got a lot of pit stoppers in then for the fastest lap of the race then. Oh my goodness me, Sam Swift Ninja, the gap is now is just over 2 seconds here. I think the Sam Swift Ninja's just been managing in the final stage of this Grand Prix. Can Brabant with one more shot then at overtaking and getting into that second position there, which would be his best race sort of his career. Now into the triangle chicane, and needs to keep it neat and tidy. Immortal is too far back. Well, he's about 9/10 of a second away. I think that now then that Brabant now needs to use all the oomph he's got in this Haas Ferrari. I think he's too far back, because I think the Percy's done just about enough. He has done just about enough. And Percy keeps the position there. I wonder if there might still be a sting in the tail. Flippy, goodness gracious me, pushing Lights out of the triangle chicane here. Remember, they both have penalties, but both have got 3-second penalties, and so this overtake has happened on track there. Menace there is giving a tow there for Lights there, which is helping Lights keep in front of Flippy. As Cam has got past Chaza in the battle for 13th position as well. Whoa, what's happened? Flippy's off the circuit then. What's that contact? Well, there might have been contact, but Flippy, who it's been a difficult opening 2 races in his campaign in gold, and sadly there's going to be no points on the board for Flippy. We'll have to see what happens then after the race, but that didn't look too good. Going to be hotter Wednesday. It's going to be hotter Wednesday. Don't get the sniffles. I was hoping it as Cassie said the past half the race. I thought it was meant to be really hot Monday, then it was meant to cool down Tuesday and Wednesday. It's my Samsung app just giving me all kinds of nonsense again, which is shocking stuff indeed, isn't it? Absolutely disgraceful stuff. In his 53rd Grand Prix start tonight, he's going for his 26th Grand Prix win. Sam Swift Ninja, the triple world champion, exits the final corner and wins the Japanese Grand Prix. What a result there for Sam Swift Ninja, 2 for 2. And his 26th Grand Prix win of his career for Sam Swift Ninja. My word, he has started this season in impeccable form. 2 pole positions, 2 Grand Prix wins, 26 Grand Prix wins as well for Sam Swift Ninja. It's a 1-2 for Kick Sauber as well then, but even though Percy is a reserve driver, flip-flop fish, says Serious Mushroom in in a reference to Flippy, unfortunately, having issues there in the final stages of that Grand Prix. Draw of the day for Brabant. GG Brabant, future champion. Brabant drove superbly well today, didn't they? And absolutely fantastic. The gap was 5 tenths a second in the end, but I do feel that Sam Smith Ninja was managing the car towards the end of that race. And my word. Sweet Crown did drop off in the end in that race, didn't he? I was expecting, as Equals got the fast off the race, I was expecting Sweet Crown to potentially be on the podium. He was quick, wasn't he, on the medium tires? I wonder if they just fell away. As Kaz Van Vonnis just mentioned that the two-stop is horrible, whilst I think Lights is asking how the guys at the front did a one-stop. That's going to be a lot to digest for silver and bronze. And of course, the silver and bronze will be racing on tomorrow night and Tuesday. And then of course we go back to Australia for the 100%. Then not for the 100%, for the event for the event championship on. On where? On a Tuesday night then. No, Wednesday night. And the race winner, Sam Swift Ninja, is 26th of his career. Equals with the fast time and gets a bonus point. Flippy, driver of the day. Most overtakes for Flippy as well. Cleanest driver goes to Nameless. Final classification then from the Japanese Grand Prix. Sam Swift Ninja, 26th win of his career. Percy has completed that 1-2 for Kick Sauber. Third position was Brabant with a Mortal in fourth position. Sweet Crown in fifth. Great debut for Sweet Crown. Fantastic. Sixth position for Pease. Great drive from Pease as well. I think the Pease probably deserved a shout out for driver of the day. Van Von in seventh position. The two-stopper didn't win, but it's the highest two-stop runner. Troy in eighth position. Ninth position is Menace, who did two stops as well. And Lights also on that two-stop as well. Nameless in 11th position. 12th position was Flippy with Cam in 13th. Chazza in 14th. Keza 15th. Equals fastest lap in 16th position. Knowlesy in 17th with Morris in 18th. The last of the runners there. Boxtal and Mumford both retired from this Japanese Grand Prix, unfortunately, as they came a little unstuck, unfortunately. Oh, gosh. One stop it is, then, says Cirrus Mush, and then I only voted for Troy. Shame on you all. But Cirrus Mushroom is the president of the Troy fan club, isn't he? We got some drivers to interview this week, which is fantastic stuff as well. And we got 10 minutes there before I need to go and have a bath. So let's have a chat then with firstly with Lucas Percy, I think, who finished second today. And Percy, goodness gracious me, I think that today was just similar as Australia, I would say. Then where towards the end of the race, you really came alive. Then would you not agree with that statement?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, today was obviously completely different to Australia because of the weather conditions. I think there were different people on different strategies as well today, which kind of played a part in the race. First of all, I'd just like to apologise for the red flag. That was not me just being or having bad reaction times. For some reason, my lights were just going out as soon as everyone else had already started. So yeah, that was a bit of a game glitch, but yeah, on the race, pretty pleased. I feel like if I hadn't got caught up in a bit of a squabble in the mid part of the race, and I maybe could have challenged Sam at the end, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm more than happy with P2, especially from where I started.
I threw you proper against the Wolves as well. I was like, oh, Percy calls the red flag. He should start from the back of the grid. But anyway, yeah. But after that, though, when I was saying that, because you, not only that, though, because the intermediate tyres in Australia, you came alive, and then the second half of this race, you came alive again. So it seems to be tyre management, I would say, is going to be your major, playing card, I think, in this season.
Yeah, I've always liked to say I've had good tyre management. I think on the previous couple of games, I've always been good at managing the tyres and extending the stints and going as long as possible. I think today, I don't think I was expecting to go as long as I did on the mediums. I think I went 14 laps, which was about 6 more laps than I was expecting. So yeah, more than happy with that. And then obviously it was just a matter of seeing how much I could gain to Sam. And I think if there was one more lap, maybe I would have got him. But you know, it's all if buts and maybes. Sam is, you know, he's shown already in these first two races that he's much quicker than the entire field. So I'm more than happy to finish within 5 tenths of him today.
You mentioned about having a coming in the pits much earlier than what you was thinking. Then was you planning on a two stopper? Because there's a couple of drivers out there that went for the two stop and it really hurt them. Was that your first plan of action? Was to go on a two stopper in this race?
To be honest, my first plan of action was to just race in the first place, and then it was just see where what happens and where I end up. I mean, the strategy before the race was only allowing a two stop. It, like you try and change your strategy, it wouldn't allow for the one stop. So I don't even think the game thought the one stop was possible. But I mean, clearly it was. I think the people that did the two stop may have got caught up in a few squabbles at the back, which benefited myself and Brabbit and Immortal towards the end. So I think a one stop still the quicker strategy on this game, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a few tracks like maybe Austria and Britain where the two stops definitely going to play into your hands.
And to start this season, you have been a reserve driver, but do you feel that if you was in a seat full time, do you feel that you'd be more prepared to potentially challenging Sam Swift a lot more heavier in the Grand Prix? So even though you have finished fourth and second so far in the opening stage of the season, so not too bad. But with more preparation time, do you feel that you can gain an extra 5 tenths of a second, potentially even more if you had a full time seat?
I mean, first of all, it's getting that full time seat. I'd love to have another full time seat. But yeah, I think even if I did have a full time seat, it would still the gap would still be the same to Sam. He is, like I said earlier, he is still a, a big margin ahead of everyone else on the field. So, I mean, I'd like to close it. I'd like to close the gap. I think everyone else would like to close the gap, but I'm more than happy with two podiums out of two so far.
Really well done today. Brilliant drive, Percy. Fantastic. And let's come to Mr. 50 today. It's Brabbitt's 50th Grand Prix start. And I would say that's your best race of your gold career. But really, since the start of the event, you was on it on qualifying. Then the race today, you finished third. Unlucky not to finish second in the end. But what a drive from yourself.
Yeah, first of all, cheers. Unfortunately, Lucas is away, but his move in turn one was incredible. I was not expecting that, so really, really nice drive from him. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Not, I'm still not sure if this is my hundredth of ALR races. I'm not 100% sure, but if so, it would be glad, or I will would be glad with a podium to celebrate it. So yeah, it was a tough one, but I think it was quite clean from my side, like no mistake, no stupid moves, and the strategy was fine. So I'm really happy with the result, and I hope I can keep the momentum to the next races.
Someone should have checked if it was 100 race, so I blame Cirrus Mush for that. Shocking. But but coming on to staying on, but keeping up momentum as well, because that's been one or two races where you've been really quick, and then the next race you've been really struggling. Do you feel that it's just about momentum and just about keeping yourself in it to win it?
This is a really tough question. Like, if I could answer it, I would talk regularly to you in the commentary box. So I think it's a little bit both. Like momentum is always good, but in gold it's so difficult to perform on like 100%. Like one tiny mistake can throw you back like two or three places or even more. So I think you have to give absolutely everything, do no mistakes, and have the correct strategy. So I think everything worked together today, so this was the reason I finished third. I really tried everything to pass Percy, but yeah, in the last lap I was too far away, and the dirty air in Spoon was too strong, so I couldn't close the gap and couldn't make the move in the last lap. But yeah, I'm really happy with this place. Happy to hear your voice live, and I hope this will be not the last one.
You're far too nice. Not a lot of people say that. As we roll on into the next race, and I can't remember what is the next race. Goodness me, this guy should probably actually look at the calendar, shouldn't they? Going on to the next race in Bahrain. You've had some decent races there, but do you feel that potentially? a win is on the cards, maybe in the not too distant future in gold, then Sam Swift Ninja does feel that he's a little out of reach for the rest of the grid. But do you feel that this is your year where you can have a breakout Grand Prix win?
It's just round two, so lots of races to go. To be honest, I was quite well prepared. I think Japan Suzuka is one of my better tracks, and next race will be interesting because Bahrain is not. Um, uh, I will keep practicing. I will keep preparing, but I think it's too early to say something or to predict the season. So I hope it will continue like that. But I think some really good and quick drivers are just struggling. So let's wait for that, and maybe I can answer the question a few races later.
I know I hope you could answer it as well. Well done today, Brabbit. Great job on getting a podium, your first podium of the season. Fantastic stuff.
Thank
And
you, thank you.
no problem. Then let's come to Sam Swift Ninja. And goodness me, undefeated in qualifying, undefeated in the race as well. Your 10th podium earlier on in today, and then, of course, making your 26th Grand Prix win as well. It's looking a bit easy for yourself at the moment, Sam.
Yeah, this game is definitely suiting me a lot more than the previous game now that there's added dirty air, so not everyone freaking is sticking with me in race trim, because I mean, I've said multiple times, I'm a lot better in the races. I don't know how I'm doing the pole position laps, to be honest. So maybe this game just fully suits me to a T. For some strange reason, but qualifying, I still don't have a clue how I'm doing so well in qualifying. But the races, I mean, this game's more based on race trim, which is normally my specialty, and with the added dirty air, it's definitely helping me out. So yeah, it's been a great start to the season.
I was surprised that in qualifying that you've been working on that on qualifying. So basically, I'm telling a bunch of porkies that it just seems that it's just about you coming in and just absolutely swooping qualifying.
Yeah, honestly, well, even with the TTs, I'm still off in the TTs, which is obviously a game mode to show what your true pace is like. I mean, I'm a lot closer than I was to in 24 compared to other people, but I mean, I'm still not up there as the quickest. So I just don't know. Maybe I'm just putting the lap together whilst other people are, and then obviously it's helping me out in the races with the added dirty air. So.
You started the race on the soft tire, and then you went onto the hard tire. We were surmising throughout the season, throughout the race, then that a lot of drivers are going to be on two stoppers. And when you put on the hard tires, we was unsure whether you was going to be on a two stopper or a one stopper. In the end, you did go on a one stopper. How close was it that you was potentially thinking about a two stop, or was one stop just the clear way to go?
I was gonna go for a one stop the entire way. I actually did one practice race in Grand Prix mode just before doing the race, and the softs could easily go 10 laps on Grand Prix mode, and then the hards were like nowhere near puncture territory. But for some reason, the difference between Grand Prix mode and online is massive, because by the end of the hard stint, on Grand Prix mode, I was only at 55%, and on the hards at the end of that online race, it was on 80. So it was like there was a difference, stupid amount of difference to between the tire wears from Grand Prix mode to online. So I seriously thought I wasn't going to win this, because I was sliding around quite a lot with the last few laps, because my tires were dead. I was just praying not to get a puncture, to be honest, because the last few laps, like Lucas was gaining between about 8 tenths to a second on me a lap. So I know people don't like it when I say I get lucky wins and stuff like that, and they take the piss out of me when I say I have luck and all. But honestly, I was extremely lucky. I didn't get a puncture on that final lap, and managed to keep Lucas behind, especially when he was about a second a lot quicker than me at the end.
How difficult was it to keep your cool then? Because when you see a gap come down that quickly, especially on tires that have almost worn right through, how difficult was it to keep that mentality? Even though you are a three-time champion, I bet it's not difficult at all, is it?
Um, yeah, you just got to be consistent. Just keep on doing the laps. Just minimize the sliding around and losing the back end. But I mean, Obviously, it's going to be a bit more stressful than having we've had races where I've been miles in front of everyone, and especially it's not nice seeing the gap go down that quickly in a short space of time. But you just got to do consistent laps, and then obviously with the added dirty air, well, slight added dirty air on this game, it will give me a bit of a benefit that when he comes close, he's not going to quickly go flying through, because obviously if he's behind a car within the space of like 4 tenths, the understeer is quite much. So yeah, you just got to keep cool, and then I managed to cross the line first, which I am actually very quite surprised by, to be honest, this race.
Really well done today, Sam. So brilliant job indeed. Again, a 26 Grand Prix win in 53 starts is absolutely incredible stuff. And that's going to be it for tonight. Then, of course, gold will be returning in Bahrain in a week's time. Tomorrow night it is Silver's turn as well. And I bet you that there's going to be a sprinkling of rain, isn't it? Bronze is on Tuesday night, and I've got to say, bronze is looking incredible, isn't it? As is silver as well, with of course Marky getting his first Grand Prix win. And then on Wednesday it will be Percy and Coop then. Getting us prepared for the 100%. It's not 100%. The event league. Cannot wait for that one. It's going to be fantastic. We'll see you on We'll see you tomorrow for Silver.